Hi, Noni. Welcome. I don't know why the YouTube chat is showing the images as broken in the emotes. But hello. And for anyone else watching, I'm Calico Pascal, the otter VTuber, streaming to you live from the Float Harbor Aquarium. And today we are finishing up Ace Attorney. I think we are finishing up the later half of the trial. And I believe then we'll be finally done with this case. It's been a long time coming. If we finish early enough, we might be able to start the next Phoenix Wright game in the trilogy. But I don't know if I want to just do that or just like end stream early for this week. And then just do like a whole fresh stream when we start the new game. I feel like that might be a better idea. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Here, move my microphone a little bit closer. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Wow. Third wheel gumshoe. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. No. Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is it? Here he comes. You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law. Really? The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Evidence law securely slipped into pocket. From Miss Sky. Explains the 2 rules of evidence law. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Yeah, let's get him. Also, did you guys watch the Nintendo Direct this morning? Oh my gosh, so many good games announced. Court will now reconvene for this trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone had been talking, and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The, defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance? If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls... Wow, we actually have to pick? The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. I guess we're just gonna call him out. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto! What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean the time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh? Like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave, or very foolish. He's so annoying. He's just trying to prolong this as much as he can. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. What? You brought them into the courthouse, bro? Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Keeping it super vague. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. I'm just gonna question everything. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Drake, or Dark. Why do I keep reading as Drake? Dark. It made him run away like that. Was the defendant, Lana Skye, also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. Okay. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that! The elevator stopped all of a sudden, and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though. Ha 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 ha. That's not funny. When I went into my office, I found Lana there. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor? Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means... you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier. It was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor? Yes. Anyway. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable, no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Worthy, worthy! Always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. Okay, well let's see. What do we have? Okay, in terms of... oh my gosh, we have so much evidence. Oh, I didn't even get to read this book! Okay, let's check this real quick. Rules for submitting evidence. Number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. And rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. That's it? Okay. Something that ties him to the forgery. So, something that would link him to how the bodies ended up from one side of the room to the other side of the room. In his office, I should say. Stabbed in the back, died from punctured heart and lung, a knife tip was in the wound. Photo of the three of them. An evidence list that was found in Gant's desk. Yeah, so I think it's just that fact that we found the evidence list in his office. Except the power outage. I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. So you can see it had nothing to do with the forgery. Oh, okay, here. Can you explain what this is? Objection! You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That's the list Emma Skye drew her picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Oh! Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Udgy. In return, though, I know, that place, right? Huh? What are these guys, telepathic? What are we talking about? I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Why are you making this worse? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Raito's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The Chief is talking about a possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Righto. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Really, Chief Gant. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That, in itself, is sufficient motive. Ho ho! Ho ho ho! Oh! Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway. Ah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. Shut up. There, it's out in the open now. Aji, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho ho! Ho ho! Oh, oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Well, yes, because he's planning on just blackmailing them after, no? True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you are positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? Lana Skye. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye, the defendant. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all of this? He would be able to use chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. You mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh, Judge. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet, as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive? To appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana... she's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless, that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Or which one would that be? Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest-ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible! Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier-to-understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Would it be the... We have this check-in list with the IDs, and then we matched his ID to the locker room. I don't think there's only this evidence locker from the evidence room, but not the lock code from his own office. But that's what we used to open the thing, so I'm gonna assume that this is what... Yeah, because this is from the same day that apparently Detective Goodman was murdered, so it has to be this. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 77777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 77777777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Ooh, you see that expression? He's feeling a little tense now. Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright to be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? He's thinking. What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Yo, bro, I don't think you want to be doing it in there. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. This is found at the crime scene. This is the ticket lot. Victim memo found in the car trunk about the SL9 incident. Death due to loss of blood, 1 knife wound. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Let me check this real quick. Name deceased Bruce Goodman. Date and time of death February 21st between 4 and 5:30 p.m. Cause of death loss of blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. And then, if we look at the ID list, the time that he entered was 4:20, which is between the times of, was it 4 and 5? Right? Which is approximately when he died. I mean, it could have been any of these ones too, technically, but just proves that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Unless we have something else. Let me see. Half-written document dated about his missing ID, right? I think. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the PD. Evidence room floor plans. Oh, that's not it. The glove. Found at the crime scene, wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. The white shoe. Blood from Goodman and Lana Sky. There's his dead body in the car. 519, victim memo found in the trunk. Proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Is his found at the prosecutor's office crime scene in the parking lot, not at the evidence room. Yeah, because his ID's... Oh, well, they used his ID card to fake that he went in. So if I'm thinking about this correctly... Bloody handprint, the jar, security video. Okay, I think it has to be... his autopsy, right? I'm gonna try. I've been doing good so far. I haven't gotten anyone wrong. Let's hope this continues to go well. I think it's this one. Oh, there's got to be something more solid than this? Okay. On that day, Detective Goodman had to go see Chief Gant. Okay. No! Okay, something more solid than his time. Why don't you come meet with me tomorrow? Perhaps we could write up your letter of termination. Regardless, you did see Detective Goodman that day. In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Shows proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. King of Prosecutor's Trophy. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed at Gant's behest, giving it its current form. Right, didn't they... They had the ceremony, right? Who took it home? Wasn't it... Oh. Yeah, who had it before, King of Prosecutors, the names of past recipients are etched on the plate. Manfred von Kama appears on 2. How iconic. Oh no, Edgeworth had won it that day. But... Was he at the ceremony? He must have been, right? Can't remember the time of the ceremony, but Edgeworth enters the parking lot at 5:12. So it was before 5. Oh, can only be submitted to the chief of police. Here we go. He was sending in his lost item report. To the chief of police. Okay. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or, to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet, you are in possession of the report. Which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to. Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and the Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Ah. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have... Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No! Whoa! What was that? He got caught. Chief Gant, you didn't! The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this! What did he use? What did he use? Wait. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. Parking lot with Edward's car. So how did he get there? Wait. Now I'm confused. Hold on. Taken by Angel Star after the crime was committed. What? Okay. He kicked the body to the location. He used the super smash kick and sent it flying. It's definitely not the Blue Badger. There's no way! Because Blue Badger wasn't in the... Victim's memo found in the car trunk. I mean, out of all the evidence in here where they're like, it's just a stupid thing, the only one that I can think of that's like really ridiculous is this. But that'd be kind of insane. And also that wouldn't make sense because... Oh, wait! If he used the blue badger to block the camera, would that work? Well, I see. Maybe I'll use this later to move your dead body, Mr. Wright. Huh? No, okay, I was wrong. I'll help you dispose of it. Chief Gant stayed at the police department and Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office. That leaves only one possible way he could have moved the body. The only problem is, how did he get him to do it? Maybe that piece of evidence really did have something to do with this case. I'll ask you again, Mr. Wright. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. Okay, so maybe my thinking was a little too advanced. Does the badger and him benefits, like unlocking us? Just like, hey guys, don't question this. I'm a police officer. Card record, fingerprinting, set screwdriver. Last item report, evidence room floor plans, a glove? The locker, the jar? This jar is not big enough to hide a body, it is way too small. I am so lost. Hold on. Am I thinking too hard about this? What did he use to move the body? Could this... he vented? Amogus. By the way, if you have a chance to watch the Among Us show on Paramount, or however you want to get your hands on it, it's actually a fun and silly little show. It was an enjoyable, short romp. Brought back to his office by Gant's request? Maybe. I forget what else this was even used for. But that doesn't even... The stabbing of a detective at the police department. This was in the evidence room. Or this is of the evidence room. Did he maybe... Well, see, I thought he could have used a blue badger to move the body around. That seemed like the most likely thing, because how else would you hide the video footage? Only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Video from the security camera placed in the evidence room. It's not this. This is only a piece of a cloth, not like a whole tarp. Found in the car trunk. What did he use to move the body? I really thought it was the blue badger. I have to check it out. It's very silly. Okay, I'm bringing up the guide. The guide's coming out. Yep. Guide for Phoenix Wright. Oh, I was doing pretty good. But now I'm like what? Okay. Yeah. Wait. Okay, closing the guide. Noni, you actually were right on the mark. I was like, well, how else would he do it? This isn't as dumb of an item hint as they make it out to be. That's exactly why they misled me. I was like, if it's something truly stupid, it's the blue badger. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is the screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. I don't remember this. This was like several streams ago. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. But how does that explain moving the... Was the body already in his car? Wait, how did he put the body in the car, though? You mean The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that... Okay, well... So they just, like, jammed him in there. Yippee! Hello, Gun Puppy. Welcome. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes, unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Wow. I didn't remember that at all. I was like, what is the screwdriver for? I was like, there's no way. He vented for real. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order, order, order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was a typo. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe... Your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Guy dispose of his body. Do I have any concrete proof? Do I have any proof? Concrete proof between the relation of him telling Lana to move the body? Okay, so unfortunately, while I was looking at the guide for where I was stuck at, I did see, like, the next bit of what I was supposed to select. So, it's gonna sound very strange, but I think, I mean, obviously it's on purpose, right? We actually do not have any proof. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Edgy? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, righto? It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Udgy, I'll leave the rest to you. There he goes. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. What? Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all of the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth... We have to press her. She can't get away anymore. The defendant? Miss Lana Skye? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task? To dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on. Oh, he's back! Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen, good Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. Again, he's outright threatening her. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. Ah, that isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Tee. There he goes. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. Yeah, fuck that guy. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief. He's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry, I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. Could you mean... Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gun's done it again. How's it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said? But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything, too? Oh, it's Emma! Emma, are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah, now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside, to force herself to do anything and everything the Chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. Yeah, let's fucking go! Let's go! Saving. Here we go. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand? Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course. The truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago, all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana! If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright. Spill. How many years exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good, coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why... There's no truth to this blackmail theory. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And... I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken Prosecutor Award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change the statement. You mean, Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark. Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the wound, and then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did you plant the knife, or why did you move the body? Well, I want to know both, but... Well, that doesn't make any sense, because his autopsy shows that he only had one stab wound, and then she's putting in the knife tip into the wound, and then putting the other sword on top of that, like the sword from the trophy. I'm more curious about why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it here? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Guy moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. How so? Pieces of the jar? You mean... Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. But that's a lie, because why would he write Emma's name on the jar? What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there is more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying! She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened! In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying! Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone! I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Okay, so we have to ask her again about the body. Was it this point or this one? And then we have to ask why she put the tip into the wound. Because the contradiction is already with what the file shows. But why did you do that? Come now, Mr. Wright, even you should be able to figure it out. Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Miss Guy fabricated the knife. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. Oh, wait, I was supposed to... Hold on. Here we go. Press this a little bit more. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was a murder weapon, right? Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be by having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body. So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound? Yes, because I hated Dark for what he did. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Oh, okay, I see. Alright, so then... Okay. I worked alongside again for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated all the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, and moved the body. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof I needed. Or we needed. But I thought... No, not Neil. Oh, wait. Yeah, stabbed in the back, died from punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was found in the wound. But it was a single stab. Single stab wound. But we're talking about 2 different weapons? And you said it was the halberd knife. Yeah, so why would you... Again, why would you put the tip of the other weapon in the wound and then use the sword from the trophy? So I wonder if to prove this wrong, I chose this one. It must be this one. I don't think it's the trophy. Whoops. Go back. I meant to present this. Objection! Nope, it's wrong. There must be another point then that I have to point out. Or different evidence. Because it doesn't have... It's already broken. It doesn't have a tip. So do I just show this? Watch, I hope this isn't like a double whammy that I get wrong. Please. Ah, come on. Okay, so maybe not at this point then. We have the knife tip? No? Okay, just the knife. Just kidding. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. It had nothing to do with Emma. Can I show the jar again with the name? Would that be it? Like, her name is literally on it. Oh my god, I'm just burning through these, this is... I must be on the wrong track? Yeah. Okay, guide's coming out again. I'm sorry I've had to rely on it so much. But I just don't want to have to redo the case over and over. Okay. Trial ladder 2. It's so complicated. Thank you. Okay. So we're here. Okay. I see, so... Yes, and then you move the body, but why? Okay. I remember losing a lot during the Professor Layton crossover game. Doing cases was new to me. Why did you move the body? It was where you deduced it was by the Chief Gant's desk, but the body was found by your desk. So why did you move it? And the reason being? The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Oh, okay, I see. So I was sort of on the right track. It's just that I needed the statement to come back up. So she had said earlier that the jar broke during the scuffle, and then I was already like, well, that's not possible, because her name is literally written in blood on the jar. Why would it have been shattered, like, during the scuffle? That didn't happen. Objection! Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered. I do want to play the Professor Layton game, by the way, it sounds fun. If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. Ah. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Order, order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. Okay. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Well, why would you care about wiping the blood on the... What? You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. So the jar was already broken. It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case, but not as feeble as the judge's judgment. You are an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Lana, you'd do that for me? It seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene? Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I've finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Okay, so she's still trying to say... To be safe, I wiped away the blood. But why would you wipe away the blood? Why would you care? The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Well. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. But why would you care? You wouldn't care to remove the evidence. Where's that jar? Oh. But there was one piece that was in the... Yeah, how could you miss like such a big piece? That doesn't seem right. Objection! Miss Guy, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? She just said they were so big. I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha! Can you... Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that's... There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No! He literally can't believe it. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question, what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister, Emma, killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the Chief's puppet. No, no, don't bite your thumb. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Skye, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Skye, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. Alright. The witness may testify once more, for the final time. Ooh. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Okay. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. We got this thing. No, I didn't get to look at it like this last time. Oh. Wait. Is there something in it? How do I... Oh. Pio! Oh, it's so cute. Oh, there it is. Hey, there's a picture here. Wow. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this, because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Solana's picture inserted into the court record. Crime scene photo from the case 2 years ago, taken. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest! Could that be... the cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe? What's this? This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whose ever fingerprints those must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its the defense may now begin its cross-examination. When I arrived, I found... Oh, died. Who's stopping her? No, of course. Come now, Aji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I have ever seen. Chief Gant. What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back and relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone. So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now, and if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I'd better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Now we're just... we're being put through the ringer. Do we go against the law for the sake of saving Emma and trying to bring the truth to light? Or do we show evidence anyways? I feel like we can't. Someone else has to step in. But before I make this decision, I'm just gonna double check. I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to. Okay, I feel like we should not. I am making the decision we should not. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! Chief Gant, you opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. We're just straight up lying. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dar convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate this message on the jar too? Ho ho ho. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then, before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. End his career! Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh, yes, at last, you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on the piece of this cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho 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 ho. You are as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Raito had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that. Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Emma Sky? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why didn't you tell me? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, ho, you're really something, Raito. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me? So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Sky, you knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said the trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy! Not only this trial, but your career, too! You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy! What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, that's this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Hold on, let's take a look at this photo. Yes, it is cut out from his shirt. But what contradicts with the cloth? What evidence would contradict with the fact that her handprint is on the cloth? Because we're trying to prove that, well, yes, those are her handprints. That's not the cause of his death. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Is it this? A piece of evidence that contradicts his cloth? Because he... Well... I'm trying to think. How would that contradict with the cloth? Because he admitted that there were two things in the safe. And that... Am I reading this right? No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay, I have a theory. And I think it has to do with the second rule. But I just want to double check again. This guide has been the lifesaver. Okay, wait. What is on this? Oh, I wanted to see... Okay, so I think from what I saw of the guide, I'm kind of on the right track, but the reasoning I think is related to this and this, these two things. Is it... So my train of thought is that he admitted that the cloth is relevant to the case at hand. So we're going to say, like, so yes, this piece of evidence that we found in your safe, you are now admitting to being relevant to the case. But previously, I mean, you hid it in your safe, and it wasn't part of the initial evidence list. I think that's what they're trying to go for. I guess we'll find out in a second. Oh, ho, 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 ho. It's fun watching you squirm, righto. This piece of evidence does indeed seem to contradict something. Your outward appearance of mental sanity. What? What am I doing? If this cloth was cut from... Wait, did I pick the wrong thing? This cloth was cut from Prosecutor Marshall's vest after he died, then something's definitely not right about it. It's not too late to turn back now. You're the only one who can put an end to this. Wait, did I click the wrong thing? Looking again. Okay, yep. 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 We did that. Okay. Oh, I think I skipped ahead. Oh, that's right. So I'm not sure how it contradicts this, because so this is evidence that he doesn't know that we have, because Lana gave it to us when he was away. But it's supposed to bring this out first. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Guy took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Oh! There's no blood on it. I see. Ah! That's true. If she... Okay, I see now. If she had really pushed him into the armor, he would have gotten blood all over his shirt. But this piece doesn't have any blood on it. It's just a piece of cloth with her fingerprints on it. There's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Skye, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armored sword? Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Oh. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finally all over. Is it? Oh, he's sweating now. Oh, that was close, Righto. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence! Order, order! What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Udgy, earlier old Righto here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. Oh, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edworth, true. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? I admit, I refused to present it at one point. Haha! So the evidence is illegal! Objection! That's not true. You said it was relevant earlier. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Udgy, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Take a look at this cute little book. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Skye's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, and nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Ugh. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at that time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh, yes. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who could that be. Damon Gant, the killer was you! Oh my god, he's going crazy. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum! For 2 years he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Oh wait, he's got the accent. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. Oh man. Oh, here we go. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint. On Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry. I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments on the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, gee. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Wow. Old man Yowie in my courtroom. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Gantz. You are particularly very charming. There is something about you I cannot deny. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator, and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Edgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Raito here, and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I hear them already. Hello, welcome. The melodious sound of a new beginning. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes. First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all of your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Wow, look at her smile. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Oh, he is so... tsundere. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. She's so cute! Even if she was a murderer, we were rooting for her. We support women's wrongs. Stop! I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder, however. Although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Wow. We did it! Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty! Yippee! Wahoo! Wow! That is all. This court is adjourned. February 25th, 5:03 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. At long last, it's finally over. After how many streams where I was like, I think we're near the end. I think we're near the end. Emma. Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. Here comes Gumshoe! Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. There you go. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around while on duty? And to hop it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope. Not this time. I came today because of, you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Wow. Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago... was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. She cares. Sis. I asked Aunt to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. Yeah, they're not listening at all. I knew how much I was hurting you by I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma. Aww. Wee. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because, in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. Wow. At least, that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Where? Stop hiding and come over here. My husband? Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now. No, come back. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. Yeah, you were just doing your job. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth, did you not hear my entire speech about making up for our actions. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals! I can feel it, you and me were the same. One day you'll understand, oh believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth? Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. Yeah, we were working together. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. She's straight up Fujoshing out right now. Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. The other half of this list. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and wow. We had like, it's like when you have one half of like a heart necklace that you share with your partner. we each had a list. You had a list and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. She's saying it's fate. They're soulmates, yes, exactly. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth. If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you, in court. The marriage court. Farewell. I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Where do you have all these cute little, like, picture books about the law? Scientific investigation! It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis! I will! Aww. And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. Wow, look at all our friends. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There is just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. What? Way to go, detective! I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, haha, you see, Mr. Wright here is the one who will be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? Huh? What? Huh? Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best! Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go!
Objection!
Wow, we did it! I arranged for a friend. Oh, okay. Should we please study under a... oh my god. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Wow, a sister duo! Oh, okay, I see. We're just catching up with everyone throughout the credits. Yay! So you were asking what's a tsundere? It's someone who's kind of like shy about showing affection. They get kind of like flustered and angry. They overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily. Okay, so he got pardoned for his crimes. Good. Yeah, somewhat. A lot of cats are said to be tsundere. But you get the right idea. It's basically like that. I don't remember his voice. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy! Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard! My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir! Then I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe! I know, is my internet giving you issues? I'm sorry. His first name is Dick. Yeah, unfortunately they weren't just calling him Dick. That's his actual name. Oh no! Blue Badger! No! Oh, look at who it is. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this into me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Is it actually? That's really funny. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Wright way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer's as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Yes, ma'am. So what'd you guys think? I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for, how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel! Sorry, gotta go! No, not his gavel. Reminds you of the days when you used to be in school. Yeah, this, I mentioned it way in the beginning of my initial, like, start of this playthrough, but this is actually, like, I've played a little bit of this game. Basically the last trial was the one I didn't get to finish. Ah, nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming! Well, see you around, Nick! Wow, Maya. Yeah, so, but it had been like years since I played this, so I was basically revisiting the whole thing from scratch. And then I needed the most help with the final trial because I hadn't gotten this far in my first playthrough years ago. Played these games a long time ago, but they never held that big place in comparison to Mega Man. Oh, very nice. Oh, Edgeworth's room. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh! Mr. Edgeworth, I brought you your tea. Hmm? What's going on? What is going on? Yeah, so I'd like to... So this Steam version has the other two games, because it's the first three, the trilogy. So we'll definitely have to play the rest. Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Oh, are you gonna take a look? What's in the book? Pew! Ooh. Aww. Oh, look at them. They're so cute. That's so sweet. Wait, so then what happened to Wright? Wow, that's it. To the front lines. Wow. We did it. Okay, so we didn't finish as early as I thought we would. So I will save starting the second game for another time. We'll probably kind of switch it up a little bit because I was like really trying to get this done. I knew that we were at the very end, so I was just like, I think we can get it done. And then like maybe 3 or 4 streams later, we finally reached the end. So we finally finished the first Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game. Yay! So from this point forward, I have no idea what the rest of the games entail. So it will be all fresh, it'll be all new for me. And I'm having a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the Phoenix Wright series quite a bit. I like games that make me think, make my brain feel big. I did it! Yay, we did it! I need a lot of help on the way, but it seems like my main issue is like I'll kind of have a train of thought and just be thinking a little too far ahead. Like I'm not addressing the one thing that the game is asking for. But you know, I got that. I'm thinking. I be thinking. And so, with that said, if you guys missed last Thursday morning stream, I did my first ever read-along, or like read-aloud, I should say, where I read a book to you guys in the morning. We didn't quite finish the book. I think we're like on the very last chapter. And so I thought I could try to finish it within the time that we had left, but I got kind of like stuck in the middle of the chapter. So on this upcoming Thursday morning stream, we're just gonna start over from the beginning of that chapter, and then I'll finish off the rest of the book as our first read aloud, I guess stream project book, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and then yeah, I still have not made a formal schedule yet, but I kind of have liked being able to just kind of pick something on the whim for this past week instead of just having like a hard schedule that I had to follow, because I can be a little more flexible. There's actually a couple things I want to check out, such as there was a game that I had played, a demo for this otter game, and they recently put out a new update for it, so I kind of want to check that out. There's another game demo that I think also just came out for a different game that I've played before. It's the sequel to the first game, so we may take a look at that as well. But at least for this week, you can anticipate that the next Thursday morning stream will be more reading from me. So if you just want a nice cozy time, or if you want to see what you missed last Thursday, the VOD is still up, so you can go take a look at that. I highly recommend listening to it before bed, because it seems like a lot of the people that tuned in that morning were like, I don't want to get out of bed now. I'm comfy, I'm getting sleepy. So yeah, I know everybody's coming from a different time zone, but for me, when I record those book reading streams, it is in the morning. It's kind of a way to help me wake up. But yeah, you could just join in and listen in and enjoy it for what it is, and then revisit it later again the next time. So with that being said, let's see if there's anybody that we can go raid today on Twitch. Oh! Okay, so we have not... I don't think I've raided this person before. I don't think they're normally on, or maybe we've just kind of... We're like ships passing in the night. But I want to raid this person. Hold on. And make sure that they... Okay, they've been streaming for about 2 hours, so...
You just two shots. What the heck? That's
I hope they don't
crazy.
decide to end stream. I'm gonna raid them right now.
Dang, I didn't know you could do
We're
that.
going to raid
That was literally just one
my
hit.
Oomphy Lunary draws.
I don't think we're gonna win this.
Lunary, I guess that's right. She did debut her new model.
It's okay.
So Lunary is a VTuber friend that I met through another VTuber friend, and then met in person at Offkai. So go say hi to Lunary. She's really cool. She does a lot of art. She is playing Marvel Rivals right now, so go watch her be a gamer. Go cheer her on. And I'll see you guys Thursday morning. Bye bye.